I'm welcomed by our Culture Map team, senior digital producer Brittany Wilmore, Culture Map editor Stephen Devidanum. And Stephen, I'm glad we've got the full screen here because you are orange and blue all the way through for Astros opening day. I love it.
Jonathan, thank you. I tried to represent, but I didn't want to wear a t-shirt and shorts. Nobody needs to see that on me, so I thought this would be a good, transition.
Well, you did fantastic, man. Always classy, always stylish, but I'm liking this for Astros opening day.
I'm just trying to keep up with Ms. Wilmore.
Well, listen, and Astros opening day, one of the many things, and I know we got the home opener in 2 weeks, but there is a lot happening in Houston this week.
Yes. Absolutely. I mean, we talked a little bit, Jonathan and I, about the Fan Fest going on, playing off of your Astros colors. I'm glad we got to see those orange loafers, by the way. But before the Fan Fest even goes on, we're talking about the Art Car Parade. 2 years it's been off, and now it's back on. It's banging slow, loud and banging, because there's going to be some slabs there. Bun B, Stephen, break it all down.
Well, Brittany, people are revved up, excuse the pun, because this is the first in-person experience since 2019. People outside the city have always asked me, why do y'all trip out about the Art Car Parade so much? What's the big deal? Well, the big deal is we are a car culture.
Yeah.
We live in our cars, we work in our cars, we commute, we listen to podcasts. We spend a lot of time in our cars. We celebrate our cars here. We deck our cars out. And so no better way to celebrate Houston car culture and art than the Art Car Parade. So 35th anniversary, they're doing it up right. As I said, the city's revved up. So today, you can get a sneak preview at Discovery Green. This is a really great venue for that, Brittany, because you can get up close and personal with the cars. You can talk to the artist. It's a little bit more sedate. Now, I'm saying that for a reason, because Friday is the Art Car Ball. Now, don't let the name fool you. It's called an Art Car Ball, but it's anything but a ball. The Art Car people are partiers. They go all out. They're crazy. This is actually a throwdown, a bash, and a concert. They're bringing in people from Austin called Golden Dawn Orchestra. They're a spacey jazz ensemble. That's going to be the headliners. What's really cool here locally is you're familiar with Cam Franklin and the Suffers.
Yeah, the Suffers.
Yeah, so she's got a new music outfit called Bayou City Comeback Chorus. So this is really going to be her first gig. So if you're into Cam Franklin, if you're into the Suffers, if you're into live music, this will be a great concert for that. And then, of course, there's all the art cars there. So you can go get your selfies with the art cars, you can meet the artists, and this is going to be a real bash. I can tell you from going to art car events, the photos are everything and the people are wild. Now, this all takes place Thursday and Friday, but it gets ready for Saturday, which is the big parade. Again, hasn't happened in 2 years. Get there early. Things technically start at 2 p.m., but people start milling about and getting their spaces early with their blankets and their folding chairs. Bagby and Smith is a good spot. City Hall's a good spot. Allen Parkway is a good spot because it's going to roll out. And 250 cars. Here's my favorite. You mentioned it. I'm so glad you did. Hometown hero, hometown legend, Bun B, Jonathan's favorite.
When I learned about this, and I was like, we get more Bun B this year. It's like, it's just terrific, and it makes so much sense for him to be the Grand Marshal.
Definitely an ambassador for Houston.
Yeah.
He is having the best year ever. His historic H-Town takeover at the rodeo, he brought out, no one saw this coming.
Right.
He made history. He brought slabs on rodeo dirt, slow, low, and banging. I mean, it was just, people were just jumping out of their seats. So because it's a Bun B joint and they're going to keep it trill, expect some slabs in the Art Car Parade. And Bun B, I texted him last night. Queenie, his wife's going to be with him. He loves to do stuff with Queenie. He takes her everywhere. She is the queen.
Right.
So the king and the queen of Houston are going to be there. It's going to be a really terrific event. Again, people are revved up about this because, again, I'm full of puns today. They had to put the brakes on this for 2 years.
Right.
So this is really a celebration of car culture, art, Bun B, and it's a great year, and people are really back, and I think we're going to have some great weather for it too.
Sure, and the parade is free, and if you aren't able to check it out or you want to check it out from the comfort of your home, we're streaming it, which I think is really great too. You'll be able to see the whole thing wherever you stream ABC 13. We'll have our team out there. Maybe they can get in some slabs, hopefully. But you'll be able to see everything. And so like you said, in a city that's full of cars, and I know we have the traffic part of it, but we really do have an awesome car culture here, and it's so on display with the Art Car Parade. And it's not just professional people putting these things together. I mean, everyday folks who are coming up with different themes for these cars.
And Brittany, I'm so glad you mentioned that. If you look at these images, the work and the amount of time they spend on these art cars is just unbelievable. I mean, this is movable art, really something, again, to get revved up for. One thing I did want to mention, thank you for this, VIP tickets are available if you want a little bit more curated VIP experience, a little bit more, you know, high-end, upmarket. You can get that as well, or you can just camp out and watch the cars.
And
I
one
love that.
and one thing I know that Alila Resko was telling me about, and I know we got to get to some other events. But the stories, I mean, people get emotional when they talk about the family connections here. I think that's another part about the Art Car Parade. I mean, people have been doing this for decades and decades. As you said, put so much work into this. This is so meaningful for the people involved, much like Mardi Gras that we see in New Orleans.
John, I'm so glad you mentioned that. I was at the Art Car Gala last year, and a lady was auctioning off a car from the 70s that her mom created, and she created in tribute to her mom. It is, great point. It's a family legacy thing here in Houston. The Art Car thing is it's a real identity for Houston.
Yeah, and some of the stories that we've been able to cover talk about that as well, in terms of, like you said, the legacy and people coming together to create these awesome, awesome pieces of artwork on Hot Wheels. Now, there's another thing coming up. I was trying to be like you with the puns.
Hey, come on.
If you want to get your kicks and your hits, right?
Hey, yes.
Talk about some Kung Fu starting this weekend.
Brittany, quick, show me your best Kung Fu move.
Oh,
Okay, all right, all
We're
right.
going full screen for it,
You're
Brittany.
going
We're
right.
ready to
I love
go.
that. That's awesome.
If
That's
you
great.
missed it, it's
That's
too
great.
late.
It looked like my girlfriend is, that's how she greets me every morning. No, so if
I
you
wasn't
were-
quick enough on the punch.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Oh,
Hey,
All right,
You
proceed,
are a quick
proceed,
study.
proceed.
If you were a kid in the 80s like me, growing up in Houston, you watched your Saturday morning cartoons and you flipped it over for Kung Fu theater in the afternoon, you acted it out in front of TV, you broke the TV, you got in trouble with mom. If you love Kung Fu, and in all seriousness, Kung Fu is a defining art form in China, and Kung Fu cinema, when it's done well, is really, really extraordinary. So Asia Society, knowing this, they're presenting an outdoor film screening of some really iconic and historically significant, movies, starring some of Kung Fu's greatest heroes.
yeah, Bruce Lee.
Yes, Bruce Lee. So it's happening at Asia Society's beautiful facility in the Museum District. They're screening the movies outside. $5 for members, $10 for non-members. It starts off with the greatest martial arts actor everywhere ever, Bruce Lee, Enter the Dragon, his seminal film. Then it goes to the
Grandmasters in May.
The Grandmaster, Jet Li's Once Upon a Time in China. This really skyrocketed Jet Li to fame before he was in movies with Alia. He was in this movie. It really showed off his skills. And then speaking of skills, Police Story with Jackie Chan. Man, that guy is comical. He's crazy. This has a crazy mall scene, slapstick, fun. He directed, starred, did his own stunts. If you really like outdoor film, this is a really cool event to see and really appreciate the art form.
And this starts tomorrow, and I think you mentioned the ticket prices, but I think it's something that you could really gather a group of friends, hang out with. If you're a member of the Texas Asia Society, it's $5 and then $10 for non-members.
Another little perk, free Asian beer.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
we talked a little bit about how great the weather is supposed to be despite the pollen, we know, but there's still a really cool festival going on celebrating the culture of Brazil, and this is happening in Katy.
Wouldn't a trip to Brazil sound great right about now?
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
exactly.
I would take it.
There is so much to love about the culture, the food, the music, the dance, and you don't have to take a trip to Brazil and Rio de Janeiro. You can just head over to Katy. The Brazilian Women Foundation is putting this on. There's going to be about 40 vendors, dance performances, some samba, some great Brazilian food, Brazilian art, and a really, really great cause celebrating these people. And Katy should really be celebrated and commended for how much they're promoting diversity in that area. This could have been everywhere, but anywhere, but it's in Katy. And it's a great way to go celebrate Brazil, get out there and enjoy the culture on a really good weekend.
And this will be happening at the Wildcatter Saloon off the Katy Freeway.
Right.
This is on April 10th, so you can go celebrate the culture. They've actually this is the 7th edition, so they've been doing this for a little bit, and they welcome everybody. Real quick, I want to get to our last one, that it is Black Restaurant Week here in Houston. This is the last weekend for it, although you don't have to only celebrate it this weekend.
Absolutely.
You can go support Black-owned restaurant owners, food truck operators, people in catering services all year long.
That's right. And someone to watch for, Chris Williams just got a $1.3 million donation from Rich Kinder, who donated $70 million to Memorial Park. Watch for him. He's a rising star in Houston and nationally. He's fed 400,000 Houstonians.
And he's with Lucille.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Stephen. We got it all in somehow, Jonathan.
We did, and